Thousands of years ago, humans had all the time in the world to ponder the meaning of life and look for it in the stars above. Astrology is a science and an art form that has been around since ancient history. The study of constellations and planetary alignments has evolved greatly over the years and is still present in the new millennium. It is controversial, however, and statistics show that many are still skeptical of its accuracy. There are many aspects to understanding the zodiac and how it's read, and even just the basic knowledge of this science is quite fascinating. Starting 25,000 years ago, cavemen were recording their research of lunar cycles, the lunar cycles were being noted as markings on bones and cave walls. And this was the first steps towards recording the moon's influence upon tides and rivers, and towards organizing a communal calendar. The genesis of astrology is unknown ultimately. It just dates back so far that there's no way that we could pinpoint exactly who and when it got started, but all cultures claim it. You're probably most familiar with Western astrology, which now includes horoscopes and is the most popular form of the science in the US. But the Indians, the Chinese, Mayans, and many other cultures also used and still do use, well, I guess not the Mayans, but they use the positions of the sky to predict future happenings. In France, in the early 1500s, there was a young man named Nostradamus who spent his life researching and prophesying large-scale events, which many will argue have become a reality in recent history, including the rise of Adolf Hitler and the World Trade Center bombings. There was actually a program on the Discovery Channel that ran many times, convincing the world that convincing us that the world was going to end on December 21st, 2012. The Mayans predicted this as well as Nostradamus. However, luckily for us, that prophecy was incorrect. Galileo and Copernicus are among other early astronomers who truly believe that the stars have a story to tell. Humans have long looked for meaning to life, and there seems to be many answers hidden in the stars. Astrology is, let me back up. It became more widespread with the published book, the books that Nostradamus was publishing, and the many other scientists and researchers in early ages. It went through quite a phase to where it was very popular and very enlightening, entertaining. Everybody, really believed in it. It did fade out a little bit, especially here in recent times. Now, I mentioned the statistics earlier of people being skeptical. Statistics show that 33% of the population put some belief into astrology. They actually feel or think that there is some truth to it. I am one of those people, to an extent, of course. But of those 33%, 75% are women, which is also not surprising, I guess for a lot of reasons. But, women tend to be more apt to look to the stars and the horoscopes for their relationship forecast. The sun sign horoscopes that you can read every day can show your love, your career, your health and wellness. And most of the time, they're just, a horoscope is encouragement or reassurance more than anything. But of course it helps. But there are ample resources to do your own research. There are more than 2 million websites on Google. When you Google, there are countless books. And it's even in the encyclopedia. I did a little bit of reading on Wikipedia. And that has a lot of great information as well. Now, when it comes to getting into your sun sign and reading your horoscopes, that's where it gets a little more fun. The sun sign is the most common and the most uh, important one, I guess. I don't know if it's the most important, but it is the most common. There's also the moon and the planets. The sun sign really goes into your general personality traits. Um, it goes into who you are as at the core of a person, your inner self, of which is the central concern. It shows the general vitality and ability to assert oneself. It describes a general tone of being which colors everything else. The moon represents our feelings and emotions and receptivity, imagination, and basic feeling tone of a person. It has an effect on the sense of rhythm and time, but those are, two of the main components. You can also, if you know the exact time that you were born, you can read into your ascending time, and that's where things get really interesting as well, because it really pinpoints on a deeper level who you are as a person. There are a lot of different horoscopes out there. People who are reading their horoscopes, some of them might just be not worth it at all, and some of them may be really encouraging. I have found one that my girlfriends and I read every day, and it always seems to relate to us in a way and is encouraging, is motivating, inspiring, and that's mostly what I look to get out of it. I am inspired by what could be and what can be, and so that's, I think, is what draws a lot of people to that as well. But in conclusion, astrology has withstood the test of time, being adapted by every culture and expanded on over thousands of years. As humans, we've always have been and always will be predetermined to search for meaning and answers. So the stars and planetary alignments offer guidance and reassurance for anyone who will entertain it.